week. Thanks, Allison. What a great song to kick it off with, you guys. So I wrote down that song is like always super emotional for me because think about just think about isogenics, right? Like finding myself and I didn't know I was lost. Like think about it. Think about pre-isogenics life, right? Like how many of you, myself included, did not know like this amazing everything that was out there waiting for you if it had not been for isogenics coming into your life, right? So I am so, yes, that's so good. That's so good. So gosh, what an amazing song to kick it off with. I got goosebumps. All right, you guys. So I'm going to kick off tonight's call and clearly I'm jacked. So I hope that you guys are feeling that energy too. And if not, I want you to like get up, do a couple jumping jacks. It's Monday night. We're in the heat of quarantine over here with COVID. You guys, so I am like doing jumping jacks all day freaking long right now, but I am jacked for this call. Two quick reminders. The first one being NYKO, you guys. NYKO is in person this year in January. You guys, it is going to be a super special event, but they are capping the tickets. They're capping the tickets at 2,000. 2,000 tickets, January 8th and 9th. Thank you, you guys. So get those dates on your calendars for an in-person event. NYKO, if you've been, you know it is powerful. And if you're like me and you haven't been to an in-person event, right? Like we know we're committed to getting there. And the second one, it's in, gosh, where is NYKO? I want to say, you're blanking my mind. We don't know for sure. I wanted to say Arizona. Yeah, I wanted to say Phoenix. We don't know for sure yet, but I've heard Phoenix area. And then the second announcement is the Impact Summit, which is in early November. So just a few weeks away, really. Early November in Scottsdale. And this is an event for 2-star and above. 2-star and above. So if you are someone in this harvest right now who are running at maybe a 9 or a 10, and you are committed to getting to executive and 2-star and above, you'll want to get that Impact Summit on your calendar for early November in Scottsdale. Okay, you guys, so those are my two announcements, but now I want to get to the real juicy stuff and why we all showed up tonight. So I am excited, and I know you are also, to listen and hear from Cara Manning tonight, you guys. So I reached out to Cara a few weeks ago and asked if she would be willing to host and lead one of our Monday night calls. And of course, because if you know Cara, you know that she's all about leaning in with the hell yeses. And so she said, absolutely. And so I just want to do a quick intro for Cara, and then I'm going to turn it over to her, and she's going to talk us through a really amazing topic that is perfect, that we all need to absorb right now as we work through September into October into this beautiful season. So Cara came into my life because of isogenics, you guys, because of isogenics, and it gives me goosebumps thinking about it. But Cara and her husband, Glenn, really their whole family, were introduced to isogenics by a mutual friend of ours several years ago. And many of you have met Cara and Glenn at various isogenics events. But we were introduced through isogenics. We've traveled together. We've done a lot of life together, you guys. We've done a lot of life together over the last 2 to 3 years. Cara and her husband jumped in with the income opportunity early on, and then a lot of life happened. And they have been faithful product users. They probably use more isogenics products than anyone on this call. They're hot. They are amazing parents. Isagenix has just up-leveled every aspect of their lives. And they're just become dear friends of Austin and ours. And Cara and Glenn are truly, for us personally, meaning Austin and I, constant reminders of the amazing people that will come into your life because of Isagenix, and that this is more than a silly protein shake, more than a silly collagen elixir. If you're willing to plant the flag and embrace this as a true whole body wellness journey in every aspect of your life. Cara's done a lot of personal growth work, and she is excited to share a little bit tonight about that, a little piece of the personal growth work that she's done. She is a crier, and she challenges me to cry more, which is beautiful, and some growth work I've been doing myself. So I'm so grateful for that. She brings that out in me. So Cara, take it away.
Hey guys, thanks Jamie. Yes, I'm crying. It's such a nice intro. Thank you for that. And I feel the same way. I always, like Jamie and I joke like at events, like that people think that we're lovers because we really do love each other so much. And that's, again, just through Isagenix. So that's really a beautiful reminder. So thank you for that. Okay, I'm just going to jump in then. And I have notes. Okay. My name is Cara, and I grew up on a family farm in the Midwest. While I'm grateful that the farm life taught me responsibility and work ethic, it's not something that I'm super passionate about. I'm really into health, fitness, cooking, travel, experiencing new people and places, and I wasn't really able to find any of that in the ag sector. I was introduced to Isagenix by a friend that I respect and trust, initially interested in weight loss products for my husband and some supplements for my kids and I. What I wasn't expecting was this whole transformation that happened from the inside out. Being exposed to world-renowned motivational speakers, traveling to different states for events, and gaining a whole new group of friends that really adopted the abundance mindset was really impactful, not only in my life, but that of my family's. Going forward, I'm super excited about the idea of combining my passion for all things wellness and the income opportunity that Isagenix offers to everyone. Want to join? Okay. So hopefully you're still with me because you're probably like, well, she's talking about energy tonight. So the idea is that this is really great content in my 30-second story that I just revisited through my GoPro book that I'm reading from Eric Worre. But as great as all that is, and it is all true, there was no passion behind it. Like I can't say I'm super excited about all things wellness and like not have that energy about me. And that's the point, is delivery is everything, because people remember how you made them feel. And prior to 4.5 years ago, I wasn't really aware of that. In fact, I would say that I actually made it my job. What? I made it my job to not smile. I was like a very defensive person. It was like I was full of shame and guilt and lonely, and I almost felt like a smile was not natural to my face. Like honestly, like it's almost hard sometimes for my face to smile. I know that sounds crazy, but like I have to like wear lip balm because like my face just naturally, like my lips want to purse in instead of like going out, they want to purse in. So I'm constantly like, even when I go to smile, I am like like it's still like an unnatural thing for me. And sorry. So I just felt like I didn't really know anything about personal growth until I was about 35, so about 4.5 years ago. And it really woke me up to the idea that energy is everything, and how we interact with our world and what we're putting out there is really what we get. So I was just putting out pretty negative vibes and was not much fun to be around, but I was also super lonely. I didn't have a group of friends that I craved. I didn't have relationships that I craved. And I really think that like me not smiling was kind of like my defense mechanism. And I just kept I kept internalizing everything and kept things really close to myself. I'm realizing now more than ever what a like energy vampire is, because I'm living with my daughter who is exactly like me at my age, or at her age, and she's 10. And so I'm really like living this all out again in my life. And so I am like really corny around her and try to get her, you know, to break every once in a while, because that's what I think I would have craved as a kid, is like someone to like, you know, allow me to like drop that ego, drop, you know, all these like modes of defense that we put up and these walls we put up, and really just like engage with me. And that's, I think, what we all crave, even as an adults. So I know for sure 100% that my negative energy growing up blocked friendships, it blocked opportunities and adventures. And I kind of, like Jamie is mentioning, like just things are blown open. And I just really feel like there's this whole new life about me. And part of that is practice, because my natural way probably would be to just kind of read that story like that. And so it is just like a practice. And I remember telling Jamie recently that I didn't think I was really equipped to lead a call on this topic, because I don't feel like I'm an expert at all. And she challenged me to that you know, you don't have to be an expert. Like, this is like part of the growth journey. I kind of just wanted to train on the Eric Worre book that I was reading and call it a day. But this is something we kind of all need reminders on. And some of this content will be like very elementary for a lot of you, but maybe for some of you, it is a somewhat new concept. But either way, it's just lazy not to play it 100%. It really is. And I was talking with Jamie also recently, a couple of years ago, kind of the first time that I started taking energy more seriously was on one of her Happy, Healthy, Fit Dreamers phone calls. And there's probably a group of like 6 to 8 of us, and we were sitting there. I would say probably a third of us didn't have our camera on. And I know, like, this isn't calling anybody out here tonight. Like I get that I used to nurse and have the camera off. So I was one of those people. But it was just like a lackluster, low energy call. And Jamie, and, everything is exciting and big and fun. She just was like, you guys, stop. Like, this is not joyful at all for me. Do you guys even want to be here? Like, I don't, this isn't fun for me. Like, she totally just called us out. And I was like, oh, like my energy was like affecting her and not in a good way. And that was like a really, like, I just remember that, because I think Jamie's personality would be more just like, keep going, and with hope that somebody's going to kind of catch fire and, keep motivating. But that was like a huge wake up call. And I'm so appreciative that she stepped up and did that in her leadership, because that really changed things for me going forward, as I was much more aware of how I look. Because again, I think my face naturally just tends to not smile. And that was just like a real turning point for me. Another time that I can think of, sorry, I lost my train of thought here, to get back on track, was just even last week, just Jamie's call on social media and spreading joy. Like, she talked with so much passion and enthusiasm. And again, it wasn't like so much the content, it was more of her delivery. Like, how could we not get excited and share in her excitement for that? So just all of that is really important. So I'm going to ask you guys to do something, and this is going to be awkward and uncomfortable for me. So maybe it will be for you. So I don't know, like, can we all unmute, or would that be just like too crazy? I don't know anything about Zoom. Is that too crazy?
No, that's fine. We can do that.
Okay. So I trained through the Institute of Integrative Nutrition recently, just online, and I have my health coaching certificate. And the founder of that class, he did this like happiness exercise. He's kind of a tall, awkward, bald guy. And I knew it was uncomfortable for him, and it was like awkward for me, but it's like a happiness exercise. And so we're just going to start saying, all together, everyone on the Zoom. And your husbands and kids are going to think you're crazy.
Everyone outside thinks I'm crazy.
My dog is barking. I'm looking at you guys. Keep laughing, keep laughing. Okay, you can mute again. But do you see how different that feels? I mean, once you kind of drop the ego of, you know, being silly and maybe having your like husbands or kids like saying like, what is what is happening? You're really just able to break through to a place of just joy, and you feel differently. You show up different, and it's just like something so simple like that, but like that's energy. We just created that. That's energy. And I just think that's so cool. And that's like such a quick reminder. And I do that with my kids. I forget to do that sometimes. I need to get better about it instead of just yelling at them like I've been doing lately. But anyway, that's the happiness exercise. Also, like to just kind of go through and identify, besides laughter, which obviously is really great medicine, but and this is interactive. So if you want to unmute or if you want to just pop it in the chat, but some ways to naturally increase your frequency, your vibe, your energy, whatever you want to call it. I'll just throw some in, and then if anybody has anything, feel free to jump in. But for me, I like to get up and work out. And it's not really even about working out. I mean, it's not that I have some killer workout, or it's just the idea that I'm starting my day off in a way that feels good for me. I always feel productive when I get my workout in, feel like I'm starting the day, like I'm turning it on in the right way. And so it just sets me up for like a higher vibe, because then I have that done and I'm ready to move on. I also like to dance, and music is a part of that also. So when I'm working out, I have music playing, and usually I'll just like take dance breaks. Sometimes I put them on my Insta stories. But I just like, I have fun. I just try not to take myself too seriously, which I've also done in the past. I like getting ready. I don't always get ready, but I think that somebody touched on that, maybe you, Allison, last week, about being like the polished version of yourself. I mean, I do feel like the other day I put makeup on for the first time in a long time, and I felt different. Like I felt like, oh, like, look at me, makeup on today. I just like felt fancier. I felt better. So every once in a while, that feels nice too, if you're not really even going anywhere, but you're just gonna like get ready for the day. That I think can be like a vibey thing to do. Dietary choices. So, oh yeah, jumping on the trampoline for sure. So even like what we're eating, I know for me personally, if I'm like over consuming lots of carbs or caffeine or cocktails, which I enjoy all of those a lot, I feel really sluggish. Like it really just weighs me down. So just being like an intentional on what food choices we're taking, especially if we have like something big coming up. I think that that's like a really good reminder also. Sending someone something in the mail. So for me personally, I love the idea of like just doing something like a random act of kindness type of thing, but something that's like a more meaningful way that you're going to touch someone in your life that really feels like they need it. So for example, I have a friend, and I just sent her a card out. She's, you know, I would say like an acquaintance friend, like I'm someone I'm not super close with. I also know she doesn't have like a big group of friends in her life and is going through like a hard time. So I just mailed her a card, and I got like the most amazing like voice memo from her, like almost in tears, like saying that there's no other person in her life that would do that for her. And I mean, we mutually benefited from that. So I was able to give her a gift. She gave me a gift by, you know, like kind of verifying that that was an important, meaningful thing to do. So that creates energy for me, because I carried that with me my whole day. Like it changed the tone of my day. So what else? Did anybody else have anything in there? Big cup of lemon ginger tea. Oh, nice. Cold water.
Jamie put a bunch if you scroll up a little.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, these are so good, you guys. I'm going to write some of these down. And I know they're going to be different for everyone. So, I mean, just the ideas that I'm giving, like that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for everyone. I know everyone kind of has their own thing, and that's what's so cool is, but being able to identify that and maybe writing them down so you don't forget. So if you're like in this negative loop, or your kids irritate you, even today, I just broke like this cycle of psychoness that I've been screaming at my dog when he digs in the mud all the time lately. Like, I mean, like just losing my mind. I'm like a complete lunatic, like screaming in his face like a nut. And today he dug and he was just, I mean, and he's white, he's a giant white dog and he's just covered in mud, and I just went out and just hosed him off. I'm just like, look at me, I'm changing the cycle. And that made me feel different because I wasn't like caught in this like negative loop of, you know, I was mad at the dog and then I was yelling at the kids or whatever. Just like changing, like breaking that normal mold that we create for ourselves and doing something different is can increase your frequency for sure. Blasting music in the car, yeah, for sure. Music really changes my energy, and even just like having alone time in the car, I love. That's always great. Playing soccer with my kids, you know, that's a mutual beneficial thing. They want someone to engage with, someone to play with, and showing up for them and getting some energy out is great for all of us. Going for hikes for me, being in the natural elements of, I think that there's like a soul filling component, energetic field for sure in nature. So anything with air, wind, water, all those things. Again, a basic one, but gratitude practice. I have my kids tell me what they're grateful for every night before bed. And we also choose usually like 3 people to say prayers for specifically. Yeah, so I think those are like some of the main things that I wanted to touch on. I'm really appreciate you guys putting some things there in the chat. And again, like hopefully this isn't too basic, but sometimes we need those like just simple basic reminders of things like this, that how we show up and how our faces look, how we read things, how we speak things, that's what matters. I have 2 other, so I've just had this notebook forever, and this is like my new like harvest notebook, but it has stuff all the way in here from when Jamie so kindly took me along to an Earn Your Wings event. And I have 3 quotes in here that kind of like go along with tonight. So these are like quotes like circa 2018. So Kayla Kraft said, squats change your state, which I do agree with, and I have done that. Danielle Thompson had 2 that I wrote down. One was show up and show up well, which touches on like the polished version of yourself type of thing. And then she also said, how you do anything is how you do everything. And again, a simple but really powerful reminder. So those are just 3 things. And I just encourage each of you to shift your identity into a lighter, brighter version of yourself and reclaim your truth, reclaim yourself through truth telling. That's a difficult word. Share a part of that unfolding on social media. I really think people like, you know, not like messy, like don't overshare. No one likes that, but people want to be a part of the mess. I mean, I really agree with what Jamie touched on last week, you know, as far as like always having these really beautifully curated photos. I mean, I feel deeply connected to people that just are authentic and just kind of show up as themselves. And I'm still, you know, learning how to do that, but I think that that's really powerful also. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reread my story. So what I started with, for those of you that don't know, is what's called the 30-second story. And it's from the book, Eric Worre GoPros. I think it's probably his kind of like his idea that he adopted, but yeah, there's the book. Thank you for that. And so I had written a story years ago and then just recently revisited that and the power of that. So kind of like the idea, if you're like in an elevator, you meet someone new or whatever, like you're going to kind of pitch them, and it just is like a quick thing. So my 30-second story is actually like a minute story, but it's still a brief little snippet. And again, it's not what I'm going to share, but how I'm going to share it. So, sorry, gotta find it now. I kind of have it memorized, but now I'm like really questioning myself because I feel kind of intimidated on this call. So even that gives me energy. I had like nervous energy. So, hi, my name is Cara, and I grew up on a family farm in the Midwest. While I'm grateful that the farm life provided me work ethic and responsibility, I never felt super passionate about it. I'm really into health and travel and cooking and fitness, and I love all things wellness and experiencing new people and places, and I wasn't really able to get that in the ag sector. I was introduced to isogenics by a friend that I know and trust, We initially looked for Isogenics for some weight loss products for my husband and some supplements for my kids and I. What I wasn't expecting was this whole transformation that happened from the inside out. Being exposed to world-renowned speakers, traveling to different states, and gaining a whole new group of friends that really adopted the abundance mindset was really impactful, not only for me, but for my family as well. Going forward, I'm super excited about the idea of combining my passion for all things wellness along with the income opportunity that Isogenics provides to everyone. Would you be opposed to hearing more?
Sign me up, sign me up.
Okay, that's all I have.
Awesome. Cara, so good. So you guys, this week, Cara and I want to challenge you to do an energy inventory. Okay, an energy inventory, right? Because how we show up as the faces of Isogenics when it comes to energy matters. And remember, that doesn't mean that we don't have bad days. That doesn't mean that we don't want to pull our hair out in quarantine. That doesn't mean that we're not going through a rough season, right? All it means is that we have a level of self-awareness of how we're showing up energetically in our Isogenics business, and that we have the tools like Cara talked about to really flip that switch, flip that energy switch when you're showing up for Isogenics. Have your people behind the scenes that you can box or you can hop on a call with and really talk about your low energy and all the things that are bringing low energy. Absolutely. That's what friends are for. But when we show up for our Isogenics business, show up with an energy that feels really good and an energy that's going to attract similar energies into your business. Okay, so this week, do an energy inventory and then pivot just a little bit, like Cara's talking about, and show up with a little bit of a different energy this week and see how that works for you. Okay, see how that works for you. Report back. Cara, thank you so much. Such a huge topic. I mean, we can train on social media. We can train on IPAs. We can train on the comp plan. We can train on everything of the to-do and the skills of Isogenics. But your energy is everything. Your energy is everything. These are the things that we should be training on first. Energy is everything. Okay, so such an important topic. Cara, thank you so much, you guys, for showing up and bringing the energy tonight and supporting Cara, you guys. Love you all. Have an awesome week and an amazing promo week.
Bye.